Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to
Reset TV Rocks.
All right, so today we want to talk about a very important topic that has been going on now, has been trending in Nigeria, and that is the end SARS, protest that's been going on. And as some of you that may not know, SARS is the Special Robbery Squad. Now, this is the group that was created years ago to, address, the prevalent armed robberies that was going on in Nigeria.
Yeah, this was way in the 90s. They made this.
Yes, but however, they have since changed. Instead of now protecting the public and addressing the robbery, they turned into something that, the very same people that we're trying to protect against, they turned pretty much into armed robbers. Like, they are the very same people that will stop innocent bystanders as they're walking. Stop them. Oh, this person, looks good, dressing well. Yeah. They'll stop them and say, oh, what are you doing? Let me see your phone. You are like, they call them Yahoo boys. That was fraudsters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you have a laptop, same thing. Oh, what are you doing? Where did you get this laptop from? Oh, you must
That's
be...
even going far. If you even dress nice, it's a problem for them. Like, if you look nice, if you look well presented, they think you're a criminal. They stop you. That's the given reason for them to stop you.
Yep.
Just because you're dressed nice and looking nice, have a decent car.
Mm-hmm. And what's worse, it's not just that they're stopping people and questioning them, but they're also taking money from them. And that is, where the robbery comes from, really. They will literally take, people, innocent bystanders, when they stop them, they'll take them to ATM machines and take their money. They will have them open up their phone to their bank accounts and take a look. That's what they do. They pretty much steal from people. And this has been going on for years. I remember even growing up in Nigeria, when, we'll be traveling, my dad would take us from, where we're living to maybe where he's working.
States, yeah.
And I cannot tell you the number of times we'll be stopped by these police. And every time they stop you, you have to give them money before you can go from one place to the other. And you're stopped like maybe every 20 minutes or so, someone is stopping you. And they will ask you for money. And you cannot go until you give them money.
Yep. And the good thing even with us back then is that my dad works in the customs, so it wasn't too bad, even though he still had to give them money. Actually, every single stop, he had. So pretty much when you're traveling, you have to have some amount of money pretty much put aside to give to every SARS officer that stops you. And the worst thing, so it's one thing that they take your money and they rob you, but the brutality that sometimes you are beaten and even worse, killed.
That's right.
So that's even where the frustration is even like coming from, because there are many people who have been brutalized, who have been killed, and the family members not even sure where they are.
Right? It's one thing for them to be useless, because certainly you cannot find them if you're actually being robbed. There are no help at all. You cannot find them. So it's one thing for them to be useless, but it's something else when they now start, just intimidating people, stealing their money, police brutality, even raping women. Yes, they do. Some of them do that. So it's become this thing that has just become such a menace to the society. And Nigerian youths are pretty much just so fed up. And the government does nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. They do absolutely nothing. And a lot of this stems from the fact too that these people are not very well paid.
The police,
The police are not very well paid. They pay them measly amounts of money, right? And they don't give them enough resources. And part of the 5 demands that SARS protesters are making, one of those demands is actually that they will increase police salaries. That way, at least, they're there to protect people. Then, they should be paid well enough that way they're able to take care of their family. Now, that's for regular police. The protest is pretty much for SARS to end, because we don't want SARS is actually different from the regular police. This is like a special unit to combat armed robbery.
They actually banned it 4 times.
Oh yeah, yes, they did.
They banned it this is going to be the 4th time since 2017, I believe.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because if you can understand how really brutal, how crazy this whole thing is, how the people are really, their frustration and the grievances that they have, it's like you are going out anywhere and it's not guaranteed that you will come back home safe and sound.
Yeah.
If you are only beaten and not killed, then you start praying and thanking God that you are alive. We have heard so many stories, from family members, who have been a victim of, of this SARS abuse and brutality. We have heard, stories of family members who have no idea where their sons are or their daughters are, or even sisters and brothers. Because guess what? Because the thing is, I could go out right now to my friend's home or to get something, and that's it. Might never come back home. And that's what's going on right now and for so many years in Nigeria.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because there is no accountability.
None.
Even if you have videos of the SARS members brutalizing citizens, there is nothing that will happen. The government will do nothing to them. There is no accountability.
And that's the sad part. There's no one to look forward to or look to for anything.
Yep.
It's like, how do you nip the problem when you don't even know where to start?
In fact, you're pretty much on your own.
Yeah.
There is nobody to cry to. There's no one to go report to. What? The police? What's going to be done? Nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like there really is no help, no protection, no assistance for the people of Nigeria from the government whatsoever. And the worst part is, these governments, these people, these politicians, they're able to move around freely, carrying their own bodyguards for their kids, for themselves, for their relatives, and enjoy the benefits, or rather the money, Nigerians' money, for themselves, send their kids abroad, to different countries to go to school there, where, oh, by the way, the school system is ridiculous in Nigeria. The education system is horrible. The healthcare system is horrible. Whereas they're able to send themselves to a different country for a little minor thing as a headache.
Yeah, and that's really the frustrating thing. And this protest has really grown bigger than just SARS, not than just ending SARS, because then there is a deeper level of corruption in the government that it just goes way deeper. Simple things such as just having constant electricity, they can't even provide that. Such as having a school building that doesn't leak down, that the students can just sit and have a good education. They can have that. Simple things just of having this most basic equipment in the hospitals, they can't have that. So the government is completely useless, to the people. The roads, how many accidents happen each year? How many people die each year because of motor vehicle accidents because the roads are not properly done? The government will always have budgets to fix the roads.
Always.
But by the time the money gets down, all the politicians would have taken their cuts that the road does not get done. Every year, they always pass budgets to fix the roads and infrastructures.
And guess what?
Nothing ever gets done.
They are even borrowing loans upon loans from different countries, from China.
Yep.
And now loans to do this, loans to fix roads, to do other things. Whereas first of all, none of those things that they're borrowing the loans for has been done.
None.
The people are still hungry because again, this whole issue in Nigeria is poverty. The whole issue, like even with these armed robberies and kidnapping and other stuff, is because of poverty.
Yeah.
Like this graduates from college, millions of them, and whereas they have no job. If you have no connection in Nigeria, you are pretty much on your own. If you have no one to connect you to a job, you cannot find a job on your own with your degree in Nigeria. So now where are these people supposed to look to? Like how do they live? Again, hence that leads to robbery, kidnapping, and all these things, this crazy crimes happen in Nigeria because again, these people have nowhere else. They have nowhere else, to turn to but these things.
Yep. And it's so sad because Nigeria is filled with a lot of intelligent people.
So much talent.
There is so much talent there. The individualism of these folks, it's so great, But I feel like the government is just sabotaging the progress of the country. Nigeria would have grown so much if we have an effective government. It's one thing for the government to be useless and do nothing.
Yeah.
It's something else then for the government to so actively put the people down.
Yeah.
By actively stealing the money that will not be invested in the country, not making any rules so people are dying, and then employing pretty much murderers and armed robbers, calling them SARS and police officers, and then just being a menace to, you know, to the regular citizens. And the youth really have just had it, you know, this generation, and saying, you know what, we're not going to stand for it anymore. And really, that's why they're protesting.
Yeah.
And it began just with, let's end SARS. We don't want to reform it. We don't want to change it. We want to ban it. And it's not enough to just change it from SARS to SWATs. That's not good enough.
Because that's the same thing.
Yep. Because that's what they did. Within 24 hours, they said, okay, we're going to end SARS. And then the next day they came, okay, we have a new team called SWAT.
With the same.
Ridiculous.
With the same people.
Ridiculous.
Like, really? You know? So, no, I mean, they're saying end SARS, end it completely. And now the protest is going even further to say, no. There is more, which is good because, because sure, if they stop police brutality now, the next thing is there's still no job.
Yep.
There's still no security, no lights.
No good healthcare system.
None whatsoever. So, and that's still the issue of corruption. So those things has to be tackled. And I'm glad that the protest is still going. And it's unfortunate regarding the police shooting, the military shooting against the protesters. Can you imagine?
A peaceful protest.
Can you imagine there's protests against police brutality and then the military come and start shooting people? I think about 15 to 20 people have died already for this protest. And it's crazy. It is so crazy. But you know what? We're doing the right thing now. And, you know, our prayers and certainly our support go to everyone, you know, in Nigeria and in the diaspora that are really on this protest, because it really has to be done. Enough is enough. The Nigerian government has just, you know, done so much damage to that country. You know, and I feel like the youths really, they have nowhere else to go. What future do they have?
It's
if
amazing.
you're not a child of a politician, or to some billionaire, you have no future. Really,
none. No hope. Nowhere to turn to. Like really. I mean, it's such a sad state. I mean, just to understand, you can understand the frustration of the youth, the frustration of the people in Nigeria, because the government, I mean, shame on them.
They should be very ashamed of themselves.
Shame on them, because again, the greed of these people are just putting just plundering this country and just put the country in, first of all, in more debts. And I'm sure that they don't even have a plan of how to repay those debts.
They don't have a plan. That's the sad part, because they're thinking about themselves and their current family members.
Crazy issues for the future generation to deal with.
Yeah. In one of the contracts for the loans, apparently these politicians that signed up for this loan did not read it.
Yeah. It was written in Chinese rather.
And it was written in Chinese.
They signed a contract written in Chinese.
And it was later on that they found that one of the terms in that contract was that something about giving up some sort of sovereignty. And now they found out, by the way, they've already used up all the proceeds of this loan, by the way.
For themselves.
And now they found out that, there was a clause like that in the contract after the fact. And now the people are saying, what's going on? Didn't you guys read the contract? How come this wasn't said? And one of the ministers saying, how can you scrutinize the loan and the contract now at this point? Because then that means they will not be able to get another loan, because then the people wouldn't want to work with us again.
Stupidity. I mean,
that is what we're dealing with in terms of the Nigerian politicians.
Selling the country, pretty much.
They don't care about the people. I mean, blatant corruption. Now tell me, that amount of money, the billions of naira of loans that they took for that contract, what did they do with it? No one knows. They've all eaten it, using it for themselves and their families. Nothing for the country, and they're already thinking about how they're going to, borrow more loan from China again. So this is what you're dealing with. You have people in power, politicians, that don't care at all about the people, have no vision for the country. All they care about is putting money in their pocket and their family. They don't care about the schools, because all their children are abroad
in schools.
They don't care about hospitals, because when they're sick, even if you have a neck pain, they fly over to a different country to get medical care. So they don't care about anything. They don't care about the infrastructure, about the roads, because their estates are well paved, so they're okay, right? So they don't care at all about the people of Nigeria. All they care about is just money for themselves. And they should be ashamed. How many people in Nigeria have died because of just the simplest things, simplest disease, or simplest illness, but because the hospitals are not well equipped. In fact, they don't even pay doctors well. How many times have doctors in Nigeria gone on strike because of the measly amount of salary they give them, and sometimes don't even pay them the salary? People are dying every day from lack of good hospital care, lack of schools, lack of the roads being made. And whereas you see these politicians are one of the most wealthiest people in Nigeria, the politicians and their children. I mean,
apart from cars.
Wow. Oh, wristwatches. Ooh. Ooh. What? This will be over 100
No,
pieces.
It's over 200 pieces.
Over 200 pieces. Wow. See, bata. Wow. And which is your favorite again?
This one. Christian Louboutin. The right bottom.
CL. Wow. Okay, you can describe them.
Okay, this slingshots.
Slingshot. And you got this from where?
I got this from America. There is one tire behind
their
two.
children.
I mean, if you can hear the heartbreaking stories. I mean, there's that recent story actually in the news about those group of young boys actually who kidnapped a girl, and they called the mother to ask for a ransom, and guess what the ransom was? Food. They wanted food because why? They were hungry. They didn't ask for money. They told the mother, okay, I'm not asking you for money. All I want is for you to cook me with rice. And they said, you know what? No, just do soup and eba. That's a Nigerian food.
It is so sad. And you know what the sad part is? Even worse than that is that you see the police commissioner there just come like, oh, we caught these kidnappers, parading these boys, and they are boys. I think the oldest of them must be no older than 12 or 13.
What?
Parading them around like, oh, look, we caught criminals.
Putting them in prison.
Yeah, not just putting them in prison, but parading them first in front of press and reporters, like as though they've done such a huge job. You can't even catch proper robbers or kidnappers. How many times in Nigeria have they successfully, caught kidnappers? It doesn't happen. Yeah, they parade this 12-year-old, but acting as though they've done such a good job. No, the society should be ashamed, and the government should be ashamed that 12, 13-year-old boys have to resort to kidnapping just to get food
to eat.
They need to
That
look
is
at
a
that
shame.
story. They need to look at that whole story and start to dissect it from the very beginning. 12 to 13-year-old boys, why are they not in school? So that means that they have to go into the school system and see what the problem is. And why is it that they're not even asking for money, jewelry, or anything expensive? They're asking for food. Nigeria.
To be honest, it's like dissected. Like, that's if they care.
That's the problem.
that's the thing.
They don't
You see
care.
schools.
There's no vision. They have no visionaries.
My goodness, it's so crazy. When you see schools falling apart, the ceilings falling down. When it rains, the rain is literally coming down. I mean, I'll try to see if I could post a little bit of a clip. That way you could take a look and see what I'm talking about here.
about the
it's
burning
ridiculous.
sun from Nigeria? If you're talking about rain coming in, what about the heat from sitting there?
And first of all, and you know, the sad part is, and the ironic part is that Nigeria has money.
Yeah.
Nigeria has oil.
They don't need
They
foreign
don't
aid.
need foreign aid. All those loans they're collecting, they don't need to collect all those ridiculous loans. But the greed of these people is so amazing that they are. I mean, the country is in chaos because of them. The country is where it is right now because of these people and their greed.
It's so crazy. I call it because they always like to boast about how much money they have, them and their children.
Yeah.
Because they will go online on social media and post, oh, I have this and that's, look at my car, look at what I'm driving, them and their children that are abroad. I call it blood money.
Yes.
It is blood money.
Blood money. Because people have died. Because that money did not go to where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Whether it's the hospitals or the roads or the schools, people have died. How many people die each year because of that money that you've pocketed for yourself and your family members?
Yeah.
The children, all of them are culpable in it because they will say, oh, I don't know. Just like now during this NSAS protest, you see Buhari, which is the president of Nigeria, you see the children posting, oh, we are with the NSAS protest.
Really?
And the wife posting the daughters
Where are they posting
from abroad.
Where are they posting from?
Only at least they have some sort of sense of pride. Or feel some sort of shame.
No shame. They don't
know?
care. That is the most frustrating part.
Lord, I don't even know how to even do it. But and what I'm saying is what's going on now in Nigeria. What's so amazing about this, and we thank God, is the fact that there really is not one sort of like head, like leadership.
No.
You know, it's just like the youth coming together. It's an organized protest.
Yeah, it's true. There is no leader. It's just youths from all over the country,
Just tired.
just tired and frustrated, and they're going to the streets to demand justice, to demand that SARS end and that police brutality end. And furthermore, that a better Nigeria, do the
For
least.
the common man.
Do the least.
For the common man and woman, it does
Yeah.
not have to be. You have to have someone who is rich, have
Yeah.
connection, someone who is able to go to school, graduate, should be able to get to find a job without connection, but based on on their credentials.
It's so crazy. I mean, even if they can't do everything, we know that every government in every country has corruption.
Yeah.
But at least a lot of countries have a working government, even if there is
A working
corruption.
system.
At the very least, the government could at least give electricity.
Lord, you know why?
The
you know
very
why
least.
They don't care. Again, it all boils down to this. They don't care about the people, what they're gonna, because why? They have plants and get generators
And generators.
in their home, so 24/7 they have lights
Yep.
in their home.
So when the
And your
power
family
goes
has
out for the
lights,
rest of the country,
you know?
if you're rich and
So,
you're wealthy and you're
yeah.
politicians, you have generators to bring you light.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone
Everyone
else
can
have no
suffer.
power.
Everyone else can live in darkness. As long as we in our family has 24 hours,
It's so
7
sad.
days a week, light through plants or generation, it's okay. Because again, I don't understand why in this day and age we're still getting generators from other countries. Where is it? Japan, or where is it?
Wherever they're
what
getting
it is,
generators from.
in this day and age,
Yeah.
where you could have stable lights.
It's so crazy because it can be easily done, but they don't want to do it because they have a stake in that the generator business. They are being paid by these lobbyists because they get a lot of money from the people that they're getting these generators from. So of course, why would you want to give permanent light to your people and permanent power to your people when you're getting money from selling generators?
And
You
we
know?
who has oil in our country have to to sell the oil and then
Yeah.
buy it back again.
Exactly.
because
Nigeria, an
we-
oil
it
producing
is-
country,
yeah.
is importing oil
Yeah.
and fuel from others.
It is
And
frustrating.
the gas price, the fuel price has gone up, skyrocketed. And that's
How?
one of the things that the people are protesting. It's like we are in the middle of a pandemic and a recession in Nigeria. And yet the price of gas has gone up. It's so crazy. It is so crazy. I mean, so you can really see the frustration that the youths of this country have because really, like, what future really is there? And it is so sad.
I mean,
So, yeah.
we thank God, that this is happening. Because again, there has to be a breaking point, you know,
Yeah.
and this is the breaking point.
Yeah.
You know, the people has to come to a place of frustration,
Yeah.
you know, and anger, you know, for them to rise up. And that's what's happening right now.
That's
and,
right.
And we are happy for that. At the same time, we are kind of like sad and hurt that the government is actually killing the peaceful protesters
Yeah.
on the road.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we are kind of happy that the youth rose up to fight for their country,
Yeah.
fight for their lives, fight for their family, and for the future of
That's right.
Nigeria. You know, and
Exactly.
we are in total support, you know, of what the youths are doing right now.
That's right.
You know, we pray that this continue until there is a change.
That's right.
Until we see a change in Nigeria. Our prayers are with you guys over there, you know, on the forefront, you know, protesting. You know, we'll continue to pray,
And
you know, and support,
and bring awareness.
you know, and bring awareness.
All right, so that's it for our video today. All right, so our heart goes out to the protesters in Nigeria and the SARS project. So if you don't know, please go online, check out more about the protest and how you can support.
Yes.
All right, so bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.